Okay, hello and welcome back to another My Team episode. Today you join me for race number 6 in Canada. I think last time we were up here we had engine malfunctions, or was that the time before? I don't know. There's definitely been one where we DNF'd, that's for sure. Hopefully me and Mick can both make it through this race, but we might not. For the constructors mainly, for the drivers, we need to be ahead of Mick in this race by 20 points. So that's unlikely. Anyways, before we get into anything, I have a new livery for a team for this race and onwards. Sure. Following this announcement not too long ago, I have found and opted for this Santander livery. Link will be in the description. It's a really nice livery. I recommend you add it to your game if you can, because obviously with the 2022 season starting, this is how their car will hopefully look if they know what's right for their team. But if they don't, it's their loss. Anyways, we'll go into qualifying now. Setting our second lap. I was quite worried about the rain, so I've set quite an early lap, and I did go for a third one. Absolutely flying through the Wall of Champions, sending it across the line to move up into P5 for the start.
Bonjour! It's time once again to go racing here in Montreal, the second largest French-speaking city in the world, and home since 1978 to the Canadian Grand Prix. It's a tricky circuit to tackle in wet conditions, with top speed still of critical importance down the long back straight. There are 2.7 miles and 14 corners overall on a circuit that in the dry can see average lap speeds of around 130 miles per hour. We'll be lucky to get anywhere near that today. Now, Anthony Davidson, I wonder, might we be in for some early pit stops today from the midfield teams, all trying to put some pressure on or disrupting things for the leaders up front?
If you're in the middle of the pack, you got your own race to run, I don't think they're going to be thinking about causing trouble up front. However, closer to the head of the pack, don't be surprised to see some split strategies. If you're running second and third, for example, bringing one car in for an undercut while leaving the other one out there longer can put a lot of pressure on the leader and maybe force them into an error.
Let's run you through the driver grid order for today's exciting race. Mick Schumacher lines up on pole position, and it's Valtteri Bottas that completes the front row. Moving on to the rest of the grid, we have Hamilton, Ricciardo, Carlos Sainz and Norris, Perez, Reed, Leclerc and Max Verstappen, Gasly, Giovinazzi, Esteban Ocon and Stroll, Tsunoda, Aitken, Daniel Ticktum and George Russell, Latifi, Raikkonen, Mazepin and Nobuharu Matsushita. Which of these talented drivers will come out on top today?
Now that we've got some points on the board, let's continue this form and aim for another top 10 finish.
Okay then, it's wet, but we're going for the dries, so that should be interesting. Soft, medium, medium, 35 laps of fuel. Let's do it. We're going to just get straight into it. Got a Ferrari behind us in the brand new livery to 5 red lights. We are underway for the Canadian Grand Prix. We get a pretty decent start. Perez on our left gets also a pretty decent start. We have a little bit of a slip up there. Not used to driving in the wet on the dries. We go wide there into the exit of turn 1. Leclerc is behind us. Perez and Norris battling ahead. We take a look down the inside and go past both of them at once. What a move that was. Very nice up 2 places very quickly into the race. Lap 2, on to lap 3, Mick Schumacher, our teammate, sets the fastest lap. We are behind Sainz in that Ferrari livery. It'd be very nice to get past him so we can have a quick look at it. Lap 3 then, on to the longest straight of the circuit with DRS, because for some reason the FIA think this is a decent condition to have DRS enabled in. Yeah. I don't know. We can't get past him then, but DRS again onto lap 4 We're going to look for a lunge, but we're not going to be able to make it. It's not worth the risk. Lap 4 onto lap 5, we're going to be even close behind Purple Sector 3 as we're going to go down the inside into Turn 1 and round the outside out of Turn 2 to make it past to change our strategy to stay a lap or 2 out on these softs. Which probably is a stupid idea. Dan ticked him out of the session then. Safety car's been deployed. We're going to pit this lap for our set of mediums. The thing with safety cars and pitting is I can go as fast as I bloody well want, as long as I'm in the pits before that 15-second countdown is gone. Most people are going to pit this lap. You're stupid if you don't. Honest to God, you're stupid. But we pit in. Mick's already pitted. So you're just going to have a slower stop, 3-second stop. But we're out ahead of Hamilton and behind Ricciardo, which is very nice indeed. We obviously had that slower stop because Mick pitted before us, so that's not an issue because we're under safety car. Now, for the first time that I've ever seen, they're telling me to pass a fully functioning car under safety car because they're falling too far behind. I've never seen that before. Very interesting. Alright, well we've caught up with the queue then, on lap 8, and things are going alright. There's a car that's pulled out. That's Schumacher that's pulled out. He's got significant damage according to the bar in the top of my screen. And Mick's out the race. Well then, at the end of lap 8, we're preparing to resume racing. We're going to go green any second out. We've gone green. But Mick is out of the race for, I'm assuming, oh my god, double dive indeed. I'm assuming he's out for, what would it be? Engine malfunction or gearbox. Round the inside of Ocon and Bottas who are battling. We have to go round them to not get any damage. Get around both of them at once. And we did not get a warning or anything, or an illegal overtake, so we're all good. Lap 10, behind the Alpine of Giovinazzi. Feels weird to say, but we move. Around the outside then of turn 8, we get past Giovinazzi and we put it up into P3.
Good job.
Thanks, Jeff. I appreciate that. I don't. I like. Lap 11 then, DRS on Sonoda. The conditions are clearing a little bit. We have to back off to not hit into the back of the AlphaTauri. But we're going to get DRS again. We're going to be right behind him and we're going to go freezing past. Nice and simple. No issues whatsoever with that one. Lap 13 then, around, we're behind Sonoda's teammate, we're going to have a look. And he's going to go into the pit. I just realised he started on a set of mediums. He tried to push that set of mediums, or he pushed that set of mediums, I didn't even realise. So we take the lead. Lap 16, we're still in the lead. Ricciardo and Bottas are quite close behind, they're going to get DRS on me. Bottas will get DRS on Ricciardo. Hamilton in P4 way too far back to be battling any of this. So luckily it's just going to be a three-way battle for the podium and for who stands on what step. Intriguing. Obviously eventually we'll all pit and get spread out. Oh, little drift out of all the champions there. Very nice indeed. Yeah, I've never actually driven a race in wet conditions on dry tyres the whole time. I've always started on inters or wets, but for some reason they didn't want to start me on inters or wets, which is fine. I'll live. For some reason it says Bottas is in the pit. Oh my god, my times are all messed up. But we're in the pit. So is Bottas. We're going to pit for our second set of mediums. I'm assuming he's going to pit for his second set of mediums. Whether he does or doesn't, though, don't know. 2 second stop, pretty decent. We're out far ahead of Bottas. Ricciardo hasn't pitted just yet.
Okay, stay clear of the white line on the exit.
So that's going to be
for dangerous driving if you cross
a
over
close exit. We'll be behind him, but not by much. We'll be in DRS range before the first zone, which is decent. And his teammate sets the fastest lap. Interesting. Lap 23, then we have DRS on Ricardo. We're going to we set fastest lap. We're going to go for a move down the inside of turn 1. We make it past very nicely indeed. Can Ricardo fight that position back? Nope.
Nice work. That brings you up
Very
the place.
nice. Oh, wow. Okay. We've made a lot of passes this map. Oh my god, this race. Now, for the second lap in a row, we set the fastest lap. That just shows you that conditions are very much improving. Lap 31 out of 35. Everyone's been piling backwards, being held up by traffic and things. So we lap Russell. Well, unlike them, I got past all the lapped cars in the pits, like when they were pitting. So I got quite lucky on that one. So I didn't have to get stuck behind them. Anyways then, lap 35, out of lap 35, we are currently P1 out of P20 as we zoom through the Wall of Champions. And we finish the race in P1, and we have the fastest lap.
You worked hard for that one. Congratulations.
For like 0.2 seconds before Hamilton nabs that back over us. It's a shame for Mick, but we will take the championship lead by 5 points. Which is very nice. Very nice indeed.
That's it then for another magnificent Canadian Grand Prix, and they've hung on to take a sublime victory here today. Tell me, Ant, how did they manage to achieve this win?
Well, they played the safety car to absolute perfection. There are so many factors to worry about once the race is neutralised. I mean, do you pit for fresh rubber? Do you have the space behind you? How much fuel can you save? If you answer all of those questions correctly, you'll have a good chance. And that's exactly what happened today.
Well, I'm thoroughly exhausted after the excitement of that race, but I'm sure it's nothing compared to our drivers here. They've worked hard to make it up there, and it's great to see them make their way out onto the podium.
It's a shame there's not a Ferrari on the podium, so we could see their brand new uniform, which literally just has Santander written on it, but it's a thought that counts. It's a really nice livery, though. Anyways, yeah. Oh, we're ahead now by 11 points. Okay, cool. And we're ahead in the constructors by like 50 points now, or 40 points. Very nice indeed. Thank you for watching this race. What a race it has been. Many, many overtakes. Many double overtakes as well, as people were fighting in the rain. Driving in the wet might be my specialty. Well, that's another one in the books. And hopefully this winning streak, or team winning streak, will continue into the near future. Thank you for joining me for this one. I hope to see you next time for the French Grand Prix.